A local mom is taken to social media to warn the public about the spread of hand, foot, and mouth disease. She says her little boy got it from a playground. Dr. Fred Campbell, an associate professor of medicine with UT Health San Antonio, told us that hand, foot, and mouth disease causes fever, a skin rash with painful blisters on the face, mouth, and throat. A local mom told people on Facebook that her 5-year-old boy caught the disease during a school field trip to a San Antonio park. Dr. Campbell says the disease is very contagious.
Hand, foot, and mouth disease is very likely to occur in situations where a lot of young children congregate, such as playgrounds and similar areas.
Dr. Campbell says you can treat it with over-the-counter medicine like acetaminophen and ibuprofen, and most people do get better on their own when the disease runs its course. He says you can try to protect your family by washing your hands several times a day. The dangerous heat wave we're experiencing is beginning to impact graduation ceremonies. It's forcing the San Antonio Independent School District to switch to indoor facilities instead of the initial plans of outdoor ceremonies. SAISD says for the safety of guests, the district is now moving graduations for Brackenridge, Sam Houston, and Highlands High Schools indoors. Those programs will go from Alamo Stadium to the indoor Alamo Convocation Center. A teenager who slammed a homemade go-kart into a Jeep remains in the hospital with serious injuries. This happened Friday night at the intersection of Hackberry and Linda Lou, south of downtown. Police say there was also a 33-year-old man driving a homemade motorcycle who crashed, but he took himself to the hospital with minor injuries. The driver of the Jeep stayed on the scene. A plea to the public to help find the driver who hit and killed a woman in the street last week. I want you to take a look at this picture. Police say the driver was in a similar car to this one. Police say it's a Lincoln MKX made between 2000 and 2010. Parts of the actual SUV were found on the scene Thursday night around 10:30 off Harry Wurzbach and Timberlane Drive on the northeast side. Police say 39-year-old Jessica Vela was walking when that white SUV hit her and the driver took off, leaving her to die on the scene. The Lincoln MKX would have damage to the front right. Call Crime Stoppers at 210-224-STOP if you know anything. A San Antonio attorney is filing an ethics complaint against Councilman Mark White. Now a city ethics review board is looking into it. Attorney Martin Phipps alleges Councilman White made false accusations of child abuse and used his authority as city councilman and special access to law enforcement in an attempt to remove his 13-year-old daughter. This all stems from the day before the King William Fair when Councilman White was sent a copy of a text message by his wife, Florian White. The messages were between attorney Martin Phipps' daughter and her mom, Phipps' ex-wife, while the girl was staying with her dad. Councilman White says he feared for the child's safety and immediately called SAPD to investigate. However, White's wife is an appellate attorney who has been involved in the ongoing custody dispute involving the child.
I feared for this child's safety when I received these text messages. I did what anybody would do. You reach out to the authorities as quickly as possible.
After SAPD investigated, the child was returned to Phipps' home. White has about a week to file a rebuttal. The ethics board has 80 days to make a decision. More record-breaking for Texas gymnast and star Simone Biles, accomplishing something no other American gymnast has done. Biles, a Houston native, won her 9th U.S. championship title. She was 6 points ahead of the next highest finisher. And by the way, this weekend's championships in Fort Worth are the last major event before the Olympic trials later this month in Minneapolis. The Paris Olympic opening ceremony is on July 26th. Big congratulations to Simone Biles. We're definitely rooting for our Texas girl. For today's forecast, Paul Morales.
All right, out there today, it's going to be hot, 98, partly cloudy skies. Heat index value today around 105 and a warm evening.
That's KENS 5 News Now. I'm Sarah Fergani.